Hello and welcome to the channel. In today's video we'll be taking a quick look at some of the cars included in Mathewsons' upcoming April 2025 sale. Currently 401 lots declared with possibly more to follow, so I'll just be selecting my top picks, the ones that interest me most. So let's dive straight in with lot 12. The 1991 Vauxhall Senator 3-litre CDI, which of course was the top model. Now, it was available as a 5-speed manual or a 4-speed auto, and this has got the 4-speed automatic box. It's the second generation of Senator, and it was first introduced in 1987, the model running through until 1993. And it came with a choice of either a 2.5 or a 3-litre 24-valve engine. I always liked these cars, and I thought they were quite posh back in the day, and they still are for that matter. And I recall that they were very popular as police cars, though I understand they were never used by the Metropolitan Police for some reason. Now, this car's got quite an interesting story behind it, and it comes with a comprehensive history file, including the original sales forms, and I understand it shows it cost £24,098.66. And I've got to say, that surprises me because, in comparison, in 1990, my Rover 827 Sterling would have cost a little over £27,000. So they offered good value for money. Also included are all the MOT certificates, the original handbooks, and even a first aid kit, which is still sealed. There's more about the history in the sales catalogue, and it makes for interesting reading. These are lovely cars, and they're a rare sight nowadays. Moving on to lot 56, we've got another Vauxhall, and this time it's a 1977 VX490. And strangely enough, I find this one quite appealing, but not because of its show-winning paint finish, but more because it has a certain attraction, and I defy you not to want to get the snow foam out and reveal the car in its true glory. It's the sporty version of the VX range, formerly the Victor FE, and it's got the 2.3-litre engine with the twin Stromberg carburetors, along with a close ratio 5-speed get-rag gearbox with the dogleg first gear, which is the same gearbox that was also used in the Droop Snoop Forenzas. The VX range was introduced in 1976, and I remember it well. An uncle of my mother's called to see us on the 1st of August to let us see his new VX 1800. It was bright red, and it had the most beautiful golden coloured Draylon interior, and I remember him taking us out for a ride. The VX490 was reintroduced in 1977, and it cost £4,474, which was £1,500 cheaper than a 2.8i Granada. And it was only available in 4 colours, and 3 of which were metallic paint finishes. Now we must take a look at the interior, sporting its tartan check style seating, and it was really something special. Production ended in 1978 when the model was replaced with the new Carlton. Such a rare sight now, and they only built 943, and I'm led to believe that only 4 remain on the road, which makes this really quite special. It's amazing that it survived this long, and I hope that someone's able to restore it as it deserves to be. Next up, lot 64, the 1973 Ford Escort Mexico, which is bound to raise a bit of interest. Of course, it was named the Mexico after the Ford Escort won the 1970 London to Mexico rally, driven by Hanno Mikkola and Gunnar Palm. This car's finished in Sebring red, which is a lovely colour. It's like an orangey red colour. Now, no estimates being given. It's submit best bid. And once again, this car comes from the Bangers&Cash Restoring Classics team. So once more, it'll be interesting to see where this one ends up. They tell us it's back to standard, having had a nut and bolt rebuild. The Revolution wheels have gone and they've been replaced with the correct steel wheels. And although it's not required, it comes with an MOT to February 2026. Now, a minor thing that jumps out to me, and I'm being super critical here, and that's the number plate. And I might be wrong, but being a 1973, back when it was new, I believe it would have had the yellow and white number plates. Black number plates could only be applied to pre-1973 cars. And yes, I know due to a cock-up with the DVLA government more recently, it's now allowed them to have them up to 1980. But to me, they just don't look right. But that's just my personal preference and doesn't detract from what is a beautiful car. Also in the Ford stable, we have lot 88, the Ford Sierra Azura, which I suspect may attract a bit of attention because it's only got 41,000 miles and it's a really attractive looking thing in its bright blue livery. Now its estimates 3,950 to 4,950. Where do we think this one will end up? I think the estimate seems about right, but I suspect it may end up around 5,500 to 6,000. But that's just my guess. What do you think? Now, the next lot is one that I've been eagerly awaiting coming in, and I've been checking for it every day this week, and I'm pleased to say the wait is over. And that is lot 172, the Rover 216 Vanden or Vanden Plas, depending on how you want to say it, and it's an automatic. It's the model designation code of SD3. Strangely enough, I was recently discussing these with one of my subscribers. I rather like these, and as you'll know, it was developed with Honda, the Honda version being the Ballard, and it was the first Honda to be built in Britain. The Honda version was also built at the Longbridge factory alongside the Rovers before they were sent to Swindon for quality checks. Personally, I prefer the Rover styling, as I did with the 800, but I'm biased. It's finished in Asia Blue, which is a lovely colour. It's the same as my Rover Sterling, and it's the same colour as the one used in Keeping Up Appearances, but Hyacinth wasn't the VP model. Initially introduced in 1984, the model ran through until 1989, and it was available with a 1.3 or a 1.6 litre engine. This car being Rover's 1.6 S-Series engine, and it comes with the optional German ZF 4-speed automatic gearbox. It's showing 37,000 miles, and it's the facelifted version. The original VP model had nice fluted leather seats, but the facelift saw the introduction of this ruched leather, and I must say this looks rather nice and inviting. They also gained a new light design at the rear. Nice cars are very pleasing design, but I recall they could rust in some rather unusual places, door frame tops in particular. Quite rare now, and as such don't often come up for sale. It wants a little TLC underneath, but an attractive estimate and a pretty little car. It shares a similar write-up to lot 476, so I'm not sure whether history write-up is accurate or not. On to lot 240, the CJ7 Golden Eagle Jeep. So well as having Katie Price's Range Rover in the sale, this one's also got to have a mention because it belongs to the Dennis Collins of Thornton Dale. Apparently it's owned by Paul, and he tells us it's a very special CJ7 because it's not rotten and it's as solid as a rock, as Ashford and Simpson may once have declared. He tells us he owned one back when he was 14 and then he got it back on the road, and he used to drive it when he was 17, 18. He later sold it, regretted it, but was lucky enough to buy this one a couple of years ago. An iconic looking vehicle and an iconic name. The next lot is 280, a 1994 Mark III Vauxhall Astra. Estimated at £1,000 to £2,000. Looks like it could be a bit of a bargain to me. It's got a 1.4 engine and it's the automatic, and it's showing just 35,000 miles. It's a bonny looking thing in red. Moving along to lot 288, the 1976 Triumph TR7, and I have no problem admitting to liking these. It's finished in Tahiti Blue, and it was registered in July 1976, which was just 2 months after the official UK launch. And that was in the middle of a heat wave, which started in June, and it went all the way through to the last week in August when the drought was finally broken. If you were around, you'd remember it well. That makes this a very early UK car being on a P plate. Now, the TR7 was launched in the USA in January 1975, but due to high demand in the US, it led to the UK launch being delayed twice. And as a result, we weren't going to get it in the UK until May 1976. And yes, we do get NREG cars that come up occasionally, but you'll find that they were either factory development cars or rally cars. This car would have been built at the Speak factory in Liverpool. Production later moving to Canley in 1978 and moving later to Solihull in 1980. The early cars had a bad name for poor build quality, but this car is quite remarkable. It's showing 37,000 miles, and under the bonnet, the inner wings and chassis legs are amazing. I think it's got to be one of the best you're likely to find. A very impressive car, and it looks just so genuine and right. Now, lot 312, the 1979 Ford Granada. Sorry, I know I featured the Granadas last time, but I couldn't ignore this one. It's finished in oyster gold, and it's not the gear. This time it's a GLS with fuel injection, and it's got 31,000 miles, and it's a very nice car. So, based on last month's sale, what are we expecting? 18 to 20,000? We'll have to wait and see. Lot 358, one you don't see very often, a 1962 Humber Super Snipe. I hadn't seen one of these for years until July last year when I went to the Roots Group rally at Gaydon. Produced between 1958 to 1967, it's said to have covered 27,000 miles from new. As you can see, it's finished in black with a nice red leather interior. And of course, it comes with the front bench seat. These were luxurious cars back in the day. It just wants a little bit of TLC, but it'll make a lovely car, I'm sure. Oh, the next one. I quite like this. It's Lot 462, a 2012 Mini Cooper 1.6 diesel. But this one's a little bit special because it was a commemorative edition to celebrate the 2012 London Olympics, of which BMW were an official partner. Apparently, they made 2012 of them, and they were available as a Cooper D, a Cooper S, and an SD version. The exterior colours available were chili red, white silver, or lightning blue. And of course, it was a Union Jack theme. And they were adorned with a Union Jack single sport stripe which ran across the bonnet, roof, and boot, as well as having a 2012 Olympic graphics sporting London Olympics on the roof. Now, this car doesn't appear to display those features, but it may be that not all of the 2012 editions had the stripes, as there are a few out there which don't have them. If you know if the stripes could be deleted, please leave a comment because I'd be interested to know. It also has 2012 badging on the side. And it comes with 17-inch conical spoke alloy wheels, which were only available on this car. Inside, the dashboard portrays the London landscape, and it has the lounge leather heated sport seats with special piping. Additional features included a DAB radio, aircon, and cruise control. Listed as 85,000 miles, which really is nothing for a diesel, I think this car offers a lot for not too much money. I think it could be a bit of a bargain and one which a lot of people may actually overlook. Another interesting lot is 464, the Toyota Celica 1.8 VVTi 6-speed manual. In my opinion, these cars are ripe for the picking, perhaps considered by some as not quite a classic yet. I would say they're in the midway point, but overlook good ones at your peril. If you want a modern classic with Japanese reliability, then I would say this appears to make a very sensible buy. It looks to be a very nice car indeed, and I'm rather taken with it, I must say. Presenting with nice paint and bodywork, it's had just 2 owners and it's covered a mere 52,000 miles, all backed up with a full service history with 18 stamps in the book. Its delights don't end there because it also comes with a sunroof, and as we move on to the interior, you're greeted with beautifully sculpted black leather seats. The whole interior presents the same as the exterior, which suggests to me that this is a car that's been cared for and treated with respect. All this an attractive estimate of £1,500 to £2,500. Surely this has got to be one on your watch list. A very attractive and usable car, in my opinion, and I would say I think this should really be a £3,500 to £5,000 car if there's any justice. Another of my favourites is Lot 476, a rather nice 1983 Austin Ambassador Vanden Plas, and I'm quite taken with this one. It's on a Y plate and it's finished in the delightful shade of opaline green. It's showing a low recorded mileage of 37,800 and it looks right to me, given both the exterior and the interior condition. And although it says in the description the car had a bare metal respray 2 years ago, it looks to have been done to a very high standard. To me, it gives the appearance of original factory finish and it still bears the correct VP coach line. It suggests to me that this car's been well cared for. Moving on to the interior, it has the doeskin dapple crushed velour, doeskin being the colour with shag pile carpets, and it all looks very nice. You'll notice the wood inserts on the doors. These were not a standard fitment, and I doubted myself at first, but I'm correct. These wood inserts would never have been added, and neither would the VP badge on the front grille. And the proud owners obviously personalised the car, and there's nothing wrong with that. The VP could easily be identified from the addition of the extra chrome strip on the bonnet itself. Back in October 1982, this car would have cost you £7,765. And this car, being an automatic, would have cost you an additional £658. How much for the metallic paint finish? Well, as the song says, no charge. Standard fitment also included things such as the alloy wheels, fog lights, a sunroof, and a 4-speaker stereo. The estimate, £3,500 to £4,500, looks to be worth that to me all day long. Nice car, very impressive, and personally, I think the Ambassador was a better car than the Princess, and certainly in the fight against rust. I think you'll go a long way to find a better one, and I think this is a good opportunity for someone. So good, they even made a song about it. Fellow Yorkshireman Graham Fellows, also known as Jilted John, also known as John Shuttleworth, made up a comedy song about his Austin Ambassador. And if you've never heard it before, you must listen to it. I'll include a link in the description box. Quite novel. The next lot up is 512, a 1974 Austin Maxi 1750, showing 69,000 miles. Regarded as Britain's first hatchback when it was introduced in 1969. And if, like me, you may recall in the late 70s, Ronnie Barker and Ronnie Corbett were used to advertise them. Of course, it was claimed you could put the back seat down and you could sleep in the back. This car's finished in a colour called Mirage, which is a very pale grey. It was quite a rare colour when new, and I would say the maroon interior is the perfect contrast. It looks to be a basically genuine and sound car, and doesn't look as though it needs too much. And its estimate is an attractive £1,000 to £2,000, and surely it's going to go for more. Lot 540, the 2002 Ford Puma 1.7 in Pacific Green. Production ended in 2001, which makes this one of the last, and they're becoming a bit of an endangered species. But they do seem to have quite a following. This one's been owned by husband and wife since new. Of course, there was that memorable bullet-themed advert where they made it appear that Steve McQueen was driving a silver Puma around the streets of San Francisco before finally parking it next to the Mustang. Time for a real performance Ford. Lot 590, the 1994 Ford Escort Cosworth. And I quite like the styling of these, and I'd happily own one. It's a really smart looking car. It's finished in a nice, bright, clean silver. And inside it appears to have the Lux leather pack. It's the second generation model with the smaller Garrett T25 turbo and the revised engine management system, which can be identified by the black and silver camshaft and ignition coil covers. But look at the estimate, £20,000 to £22,000. Really? All I can say is join the queue. On to lot 782, which is a 1975 Bugatti T25 recreation, which is VW based. Regular viewers of the Bangers&Cash Restoring Classics will no doubt recognise it as one of the cars that featured in the show. And I actually saw this car last year at the Race the Waves event in Bridlington. As well as this one, we've also got lot 884, strangely enough, the Saab 96, which is another vehicle previously restored by the Bangers&Cash team, and it's making a further appearance as the buyers now decided to move it on. And it'll be interesting to see how this one performs. Just spotted this one in the catalogue. I nearly missed it, but what a beauty. Lot 836, the Rover SD1 VP. Finished in a Porto red metallic, I love that colour, with oatmeal box velvet seating. This one's got the 2.6 engine and it's got a 5-speed manual box. Described by the vendor as totally original, never restored, with 38,000 miles. It's like the one that they used in Ashes to Ashes, if you recall. Absolutely love it. Now, where are we on price? Well, the estimate is £6,000 to £8,000. My guess could end up 10 to 12,000. What do you think? Time for something a little bit extra special. A lot 629, a 1969 Aston Martin DB6. I couldn't resist showing you this. All I can say is what a thing of beauty. And I think it suits its colour so well, and I think it accentuates its lines. Simply wonderful, isn't it? A quintessentially classic English car. With approximately a week and a half to go before the actual sale itself, I recognise it may be a bit early for the preview video, and that it's quite possible that further cars may yet be added to the sales catalogue. And if so, I'll try and catch up with these in the sale results. I hope you've enjoyed the preview, and I'd ask you once again, if you have, please consider pressing the like button as it helps the channel to grow. Thanks again for your interest, thanks for watching, and until next time, take care.